Hello and good morning, folks, and how you doing? Yours truly, Randee here for another rant. And this morning, I simply could not wait until it was time to do this rant. As of last night, uh, President Donald J. Trump made his an announcement talking about how asked the question we uh, why we allow people from shithole countries like Africa and Haiti to come in our country for whatever reason, I guess, especially when they have disasters in their country or whatever. Why do we allow them to come into our country and give them protections? He'd rather have people say, like, from Norway, white people. In other words, why are we allowing black people into this country so much? We need to allow more white people into our country. And everybody knows, uh, or anyone that has a brain understands what the hell it was he was saying. If that's how he feels, that's how he feels. So be it. I mean, what are you going to do? However, what Trump was talking about yesterday when he made these statements, those are policy decisions. Those are policy decisions. In other words, you know, he and a bunch of other legislative members or leaders got together and they were discussing policy. In other words, it was a very serious time because we're about to make some laws out of this. We're about to determine what's going to govern how we move forward with this. This is going to be a law. It's going to become a law that affects people and how they live and how they govern their lives. By what means they're going to govern their lives, meaning by what laws are they going to govern their lives according to. This is serious stuff, serious conversation, because you want people to obey and follow the law. Well, here you have the most powerful man in all of the freed world, the President of the United States, asking, why are we allowing so many people from shithole countries like Africa and Haiti? Why don't we have more people coming in from Norway? Maybe that doesn't bother you. Bothers me. And anyone that has half a heart or even more than half of a brain, it should bother you too. But that's another story for another day. That's a policy decision. That's policy discussion, which leads me to continue to make my point about how we need to teach our children about policy development and implementation. It is reasons like this. It is reasons and instances like this, like we just had yesterday, why I believe we need to teach our children about policy, what policy is, how it's important, and why they need to learn it. Why they need to not only learn it, but how to develop it and implement it. Teach them about the process, about how policies become laws. Because some of our children don't understand uh, laws that they may be breaking or could break, and they certainly, I don't think, understand that policies become laws that you have to follow. It's important that we introduce what happened yesterday there in the Oval Office with President Trump's meeting with the other legislative leaders and policymakers. It's important that they learn that what was happening there was discussion about something that was going to become law that's going to either negatively or positively affect them. Yeah, including his shithole comments and the whole 9 yards, because they need to understand that half of the crap that passes as policies and laws happen just this way in the first place. In other words, There are people in very high and authoritative in power-making positions that make laws that hurt you, that hurt them, in order that they may benefit. They need to understand that there are people that don't mean them any good. They need to understand that these are very bad people that want nothing more but to see them fail. They need to understand that. And they need to understand and know how these policies are crafted so that the policy's law hurts them. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm glad that, President Trump said what he said, but I am glad that it was noted that he said it and that it's reported that he said it. You can't report it enough. This is why our children need to learn about policy. They need to learn about quite a few other things too, but they definitely need to learn about policy, how it's made, how it's developed, why it's being developed in a particular way, and who's developing it. It's very crucial. There are many different aspects to our children learning about policy development and law. Many different aspects. So when you hear, and I was a bit, even I expected it from Donald Trump. I expected. I've lived here in New York for the past 30 plus years. I've heard a lot of stuff spewed out of Donald Trump's mouth. Never really took him seriously. Now that he's president of the United States, Lord have mercy, this man is president of the United States. Wow. Well, anyway, now that he's president of the United States, he's continuing to spew the very shit that made him famous with a lot of people. Well, now he's in a position where he can do his part to craft policy that's going to affect a lot of black and brown people. This is why your child needs to learn about policy development and implementation. Parenthetically speaking, the law. I hope you're paying attention because you need to. This is yours truly, Randee Rand, and I thank you for the time.